What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another First Descendant video. Today we've got a feedback video on the second beta, the crossplay beta. I have an official First Descendant creator, so I want to provide some feedback to the devs, hopefully to get some changes in before the full game comes out at some point. This will be, just a reminder though, I am very, very into this game, so if I'm coming across as very negative, just realize that I'm trying to make the game better by providing feedback to maybe some things the devs didn't think about, or some glaring issues that players are noticing. Maybe when the devs were making the game, they just didn't even think about this stuff. So let's get into it. If you enjoy these types of videos, you enjoy First Descendant videos, when the game fully comes out, I'll be covering it quite extensively. But the channel is mostly a Warframe channel as of right now. So I cover Warframe, do daily videos on that, so make sure you're subbed if you have not already. Alright, so let's hop into it. Reminder that this stuff is, I'm talking about my feedback right now. If you don't think these things are a big deal, more power to you. But I've been taking feedback from my Discord server and from other streamers, other content creators, and the like. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with my first big complaint, and that is going to be the actual way that the invite system in this game works. So, the way that the invite system in the First Descendant works, you can only invite players to your team when you are in the actual hub city, the town, Albion. So, if you are in a mission or if you're in the open world, you are unable to invite players to your squad, even if you're like Taco. You have to actually go back to the town, abandon whatever your mission you're on, then invite them, then fly back. So you got about 2 loading screens to get back to what you were doing if you want to invite somebody. It's very clunky. It just doesn't feel very good. So unless you're in the town, you have to basically drop everything you're doing just to invite them. And it's a real it just kind of throws a wrench into the whole smooth gameplay feeling. So devs, if there's any way you can make it where we can invite players in the open world, maybe invite them right before the mission's about to start. I know this is a crossplay beta. You're testing out the crossplay with the matchmaking and all that, but yeah, that is a glaring issue, and I know that is by design that you can only invite people in town, but it's not only confusing, it also feels overly restrictive. So that's my first part of somewhat negative feedback. But on the crossplay regard, I've actually been having no problems with crossplay squads. A little bit of lag here and there, but the game is still in beta, obviously. So let's move on to the next feedback point I have, and that is the melee attacks in this game feel like an afterthought. This is not a melee game. I don't know if you can mod your melee for more damage. The way melee works in this game, you get one special melee attack every 5-10 seconds. After you use that special melee attack, you just do a gun butt after that. There's the melee attack on the screen right there. After I do that, I am locked out of that actual claw melee attack for I don't even know how long. So you just do a normal gun butt after that, and it does not really feel that great. It's got bad range. It just feels like the most basic melee you could ever put into a game like this. And I find that to be kind of a problem. I've played a lot of Warframe, I played a lot of Destiny, and in both those games, the melees can feel pretty strong. Actually, in Warframe, they can feel overwhelmingly strong in certain cases. And I know this is not supposed to be it's supposed to be a gun game for the most part, but when there's situations where there's an enemy right in my face, I want my melee to actually feel satisfying to use. And right now it doesn't, so maybe take a look at that. The melees mostly are just there to give you more mod capacity, as the melee mods in this game, or the melee weapons in this game give you just more mod capacity on your build and don't do much else besides that. Moving on to the next feature, we have, okay, so this is one that this is probably more just me, but I feel like every character besides Bunny in this game feels slow. So we have 2 bunnies in the squad I'm showing on the gameplay on the screen right now. That character can move really fast. Her second ability makes her increase her movement speed by a ton. But basically every character besides her is moving at the standard movement speed when you don't take the grappling hook into account. And compared to Bunny, it just feels like, why would you not play Bunny if you're playing any kind of speed running mission, any speed farming mission? I feel like they should make it where you can mod other characters for movement speed. Not that that would really change much, as Bunny would be able to mod for movement speed too. But at least you'd feel a little bit faster. You can run, you can double jump, and you can grappling hook. That's your movement skill. You can technically roll too. That's your movement skills in this game. So if a character does not have a movement skill like that, like basically any character besides Bunny, you just feel inferior to Bunny. And not to mention she can do AoE nukes too. So on certain characters like Glay, I don't have that much AoE. I'm relying on rocket launchers and things of that nature to actually clear out multiple enemies at a time. So maybe the devs should think about adding some movement speed mods to this game. Now, I will admit, I have seen almost every mod in the game. There might be a movement speed mod, maybe on a reactor stat or something. But yeah, the vast majority of mods in this game are basically like increasing your like either your defense or your damage. Nothing really about utility stats like that. Some of the reactors do have drop rate increases though. So yeah, one thing right there. Moving on to the next one. For Void Intercept fights, so the big boss fights that you've seen in this game sometimes, they are basically entirely damage focused. Like, there is really not many mechanics to them besides, like, shoot the thing. The boss, drop that thing, shoot the shield reactor, shoot the shield generator. There is, like, one or two fights, like, I think Hangman has some actual mechanics. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make here is that everything in this game for the boss fights is entirely focused on damage and DPS. So when you have certain characters like Ajax that are focused on defense and like being tanky, what is the purpose of bringing in Ajax to a high level boss fight in this game? So maybe they could do something about, because there are certain fights with mechanics to them, but those mechanics can be done by a fully DPS character. The reason for a defense character in this game does not seem very relevant at this time. For high-level defense missions, the best CC is actually death. And for the CC characters we have in this game, basically, I'm talking about Ajax mainly right now, he's got a bubble shield, he's got a couple stuns, and he's basically got 2 shields. I just don't find him to be important or useful enough in any situation yet to warrant even playing him. So the devs should probably look into that, making it where there's a reason to have an Ajax, there's a reason to have other tank characters. Besides, there's a character called Kyle in this game. He's a tank, but he can also deal some good damage too. So with Ajax, it's mainly like, what is your purpose? Why do you exist, Ajax? So that is something I've definitely noticed. People that pick Ajax as a starter probably notice that too. So let's move on past that, as that's probably something that's pretty obvious to most players. If it's just a big DPS check, why would we have a tank? Especially when we don't need a tank in the first place. So moving on, we have another one. So this is actually going to be a modding issue. This game, just like other Warframe, other games, there are different types of mods for different weapon types. So for example, a shotgun plus damage mod will not work on a rocket launcher plus damage mod. The plus damage mod for rocket launchers and shotguns are different. There's 4 different ammo types in this game, and I believe there's a plus damage mod, a plus fire rate mod, a plus everything kind of mod for each ammo type. So that's going to be 4 entire sets of mods to level up to have all your stuff available for every weapon type. That's kind of excessive in my opinion. In Warframe, I believe we have like 3 or 4 of them as well. But also at the same time in Warframe, like, are you going to be modding for plus cold or plus toxin all the time? In this game, are you going to be doing that? Another thing, too, is you can only have 1 elemental mod on your weapon at a time. There is no combined elementals in this game. There is whatever it's called in this game. Fire, there's ice, there's toxin, and there's electric. There is no other elements besides that. There's no combined elements. So you can have 1 elemental mod on your build, and if the weapon has a built-in elemental, you can technically do double elemental in that regard. But yeah, it's there's a big lack of damage type customization, no elemental combos. Maybe they can eventually add that in the future, but I highly doubt it. This seems kind of baked into the game at this point. So yeah, having too many mods to level up, and not to mention, actually mod capacity drains will be an issue in the future, as there are some mods, certain augment mods for characters in this game that cost like 13, 18 energy, mod drain energy, and it's also like a lot of resources to level those up. And you can only, from what I can tell, you can only have 1 version of each character in this game. I cannot have 2 Glaze, 1 for this augment, 1 for the other augment. I can't have 2 Freynas, I can't have 2 VSs. I can have Ultimate Viesa and Normal Viesa, but yeah, there is also, it's called Crystallization Catalyst in this game. It's basically a Forma, adds a polarity on there. There are certain builds that are impossible unless you were to have multiple different versions of the character or to Forma every time. So definitely some mod capacity issues I think they should look into in the future. But that's not too big of a deal, as it is very similar to what we have in Warframe, multiple versions of mods for different types of guns. But I will also say it is pretty confusing to have them literally name the exact same thing and only be differentiated from a little icon of what ammo type it is. If they're all called Rifling Reinforcement, why don't you call it Rifling Reinforcement and put in quotations, shotgun, Rifling Reinforcement, rocket launcher. It's very annoying to look at that mod screen to try to remember which one you don't have leveled up yet. Okay, moving on. So this is one that I think is pretty much blatantly obvious to most players of this game. The open world areas feel completely dead. You load into the open world areas, there are 0, actually 0 enemies unless you start a mission up. The The open world areas are some of the most lifeless feeling open world areas I've ever seen in any game. It's like they didn't even try to make it feel alive. You go out there, you will not find a single enemy. If you start up a mission, enemy spawns the second you start it. So that's definitely by design. Not even apparently by design. That's definitely by design. It just doesn't feel very good. I want some like public events on the open worlds. I want some like enemy patrols out there, because if you want to go test out a weapon or a build, you have to actually go start up like a defense mission, go start up like an actual like patrol mission. You just can't go out there and just kill some random enemies in the open world, and that feels pretty bad. Another one, this is as a long-term Warframe player, the loot pickup radius of this game feels terrible. I know you can mod for it with like reactors and stuff, but it does not feel. I've had a reactor that increases loot pickup range. It does not feel very good. If I go to a gigantic pile of enemy dead bodies, I should have to go like meticulously pick up every little drop. If I go to a corpse pile and I jump on the corpse pile, everything should be mine. Like literally, I shouldn't have to go and pick up every little piece of gold. That feels terrible. Give me like a 5 meter or larger loot pickup radius without mods. And then if I have the reactor that increases loot radar pickup radius more, then even more power to you. But yeah, it feels bad right now. We have basically, like, you have to literally be standing on top of the loot to pick it up. I want to be somewhere near the loot and then have that picked up. If we need to have a mod for that Nexon, so be it. But we have no option right now besides small reactor increases that are hardly noticeable at all. Okay, so the next one is going to be, this game could really use a loadout system, honestly. I know we're in the beta, but this has no loadout system. It's annoying to switch between all your stuff mid-mission. Let's say you are like, okay, you know what, I'm done with this machine gun. It's leveled up all the way. Time to go to this gun. You don't have like an instant, like you should be able to favorite a mod setup. Every time I get a new gun, I can favorite this mod setup. It instantly has the plus toxin mod, instantly has the plus crit mod, etc., etc. Right now, you have to just, you know, remember which mod it is. What damage type is this one? What ammo type is this one? Oh, I don't have that one leveled up. It's very annoying. It just goes off the thing I said earlier, where we have mods for every ammo type, and also like you can't really save loadouts or anything like that. So it just feels like you're fighting with the UI, trying to remember what I had equipped. What did I level that one up yet? All this. The UI needs a little bit of work. It needs to be a little bit more easy to remember what you've used already, what you have already, and you know, like what gun you had previously. So there is a vault and stuff, but yeah, that'll just come with time, I'm guessing. And my two last issues, these are actually pretty big gameplay affecting issues though, so these are important. The ammo economy and the energy economy of this game is bad. It is very bad. You can argue with me in the comments if you don't feel like it's bad, but as you can see in the footage right now, I have 9 bullets. I have 9 bullets for my rocket launcher, and my other 2 guns, I believe, are empty. Or at least one of them is empty. The ammo only drops from enemy dead bodies. And in these big boss fights, there are times where there are no enemies to kill, and you are just stuck with whatever you have. So right now I have to use this unmodded machine gun to kill this boss, because my actual gun that's modded is out of ammo. Is that my fault for not bringing a full build on there entirely? Yes, it is. But, you know, where are the ammo sources right now? Where would I be getting ammo from? There are a couple little enemies that spawn, but reminder, there are 4 different ammo types in this game, so if you don't get lucky with the ammo type you were looking for, yeah, have fun with that. You have literally 0 bullets. Go melee that gigantic boss. Oh, they're not very melee friendly. Did I mention that? So yeah, rocket launchers feel terrible on boss fights. They're pretty much as good for ad clear. The ammo economy is very feast or famine. As you see, I'm almost out of ammo for every gun right now. And I'm just hoping that, okay, so thankfully that guy did drop the ammo I needed, but you can see what I'm talking about here. Maybe make it where you can mod for ammo, but I don't see that if there's an ammo conversion mod. An ammo mod that makes it where when you pick up a ammo crate, it will become a guaranteed for the gun you have that mod equipped on. So I can make it guaranteed rocket launcher ammo or guaranteed tactical rifle ammo, whatever it's called in this game, the pulse rifle. That does not exist from what I can tell, so maybe something like that could fix some of these issues. And then additionally, speaking of the economy of stuff in this game, the energy economy is pretty bad. It's very feast or famine like before. I'm playing a character right now that has no like skill mana bar thing or whatever. She uses her health for abilities, but for other characters, the energy economy can feel pretty bad. Thankfully, some characters like Bunny, you know, are pretty good. She is killing things nearby her, so the health and energy orbs dropping from the enemies will restore her energy. Well, rather, health orbs only seem to drop if you're actually playing Glay, but if you're, you know, just picking up mana orbs from dead enemy corpses, they can sometimes sustain you. But there are times when it's like, I have no energy for my skills. I'm playing a like ability damage character right now. I just have to use my gun and kill these enemies and hope for the best. So that goes for both ammo and for energy, and that is something that can really put a big halt on your gameplay flow. So maybe the devs look at that as well. So that's basically going to be my feedback for the second beta. There is a lot more I could go over. If the devs want to reach out to me directly, feel free. But that is basically some things I have problems with in this game. Lots of glaring design issues that I find that might diminish my enjoyment of it or some other players' enjoyment of it when the game does fully launch. Some positive things I really do enjoy. I enjoy the augment mods I've thrown in here. There's special augment mods only for the ultimate versions of characters that are very powerful. For example, there's augment mods for Viessa Normal, who's basically the ice character. There's a ultimate version of her, like a prime version of her, that can use a mod called Absolute Zero that normal Viessa cannot use. I think they should do something like that in Warframe, honestly, too. Special augments only for the prime versions. That's basically it for the video, guys. I hope you found it fun and helpful. I will be definitely covering this game when it fully comes out. I hope the devs can make some changes for the better. And yeah, there's definitely some more things I could have talked about, but we'll just leave it at that. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Take it easy, and peace.